from a two-piece elder blank to an electric guitar. Hundreds of hours of hard work are poured into this. This is the fourth electric guitar I've built entirely by hand. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the building process. First, I trace the body shape on the wood and use a jigsaw or handsaw to cut away the large chunks of the excess wood. Then I use a router with a template to flash trim the guitar body. I use a small homemade jig to control the thickness and level the body. Add a chamfer on both sides. The basic shape of the body is done. I mark the routing position and depth. Use a power drill to remove the most of the excess wood first. Thanks to the advancement of the technology, my 3D printer can quickly print out any tools I need, like this routing template. Routing the truss rod channel requires one side of the wood to act as a straight edge, so this side must be perfect dead flat. I made a simple stop here. You definitely don't want to route too far. Because of the single action truss rod need a curve installation, I have to calculate the different depths and route it in steps, then made the bottom of the channel into a smooth curve. To insert the truss rod, I also need to drill stepped holes at both ends of the neck. The drilling angles are exactly 2.8 degrees and 3 degrees. I 3D modeled a precision jig here to ensure the angles are accurate. With the heel down, I use the router and the template to shape the headstock. Since I don't have a bandsaw, I have to use the router to cut 2 slots and then slowly cut the rest off with the handsaw. I measure and mark the headstock thickness, and then route it down to size. The contrasting black walnut stripe on the back of the neck looks like the stripe on the skunk's back, so it is called a skunk stripe. Because of the truss rod is curved, the bottom of the wooden stripe must also be shaped into a curve. I 3D printed a custom flat cutting jig. It can control both the depth of the cut and the thickness of the saw blade. You absolutely must be meticulous when slotting the fretboard. It directly dedicates the intonation of the final instrument. For the fret markers this time, I use the beech wood. With the fret markers done, I can send the 9.5-inch radius into the fretboard.
Two hours later.
So satisfying. Maple is harder than rosewood though, so hand sanding it had me in tears.
$2,000 years later.
For the side fret markers, I use the glowing red plastic. This time the bottom of the nut features the same curve as the fretboard. Based on the scale length, I accurately position the bridge and drill the mounting holes for the 6 strings. Finally, a tally body doesn't always have a belly cut, but with my skinny ribs, hugging a flat cutting board hurts me like crazy, so a belly cut is an absolute must. I perfect the neck onto the body. Once I make sure they are perfect, I clamp them down with the woodworking clamps and drill the holes. Before painting, I carefully sand the body and the neck. I have no idea how this dent got here, but as long as the wood fiber aren't broken, I can use the water and the heat to steam it right back out. Painting must be done outdoors, wearing a professional mask. I also bent a new piece of fret wire and used it to test and ensure all the fret slots were cleaned out. The hardware this time is top tier. OCD for details. Everything must be perfectly aligned. Radicking is something I'm trying for the first time since I started building guitars. You just have to take it little by little, look at a lot of reference photos. For the dirtying up stage, I initially tried dyes and stains, but nothing worked. Eventually, I just dug some dirt out of the flower pot, and the result was the best. Alright, now to assemble all the parts. Set up the bridge and neck for one more time, and we are officially done. I'm not exactly great at playing the guitar, but I can at least prove to you guys that this thing actually makes a sound.